revolutions, every revolution or every political movement or any kind of change, and having someone, okay, CIA, which is fucking for you to call me CIA when you know I'm not.
Everything was politicized. It was, oh, this is when we became the left versus the right. But both sides are trash. In COVID,
his own thing. So it seems to be that money's the issue, that like we're using money and that's how politics is being pushed. Because now we've seen what someone does when they use their own money and it doesn't seem to be a solution. So I feel like we take money out of politics, we'll have a much better political system.
Politician, you think they're gonna come out and tell me the truth? They was lying to my mama. They ain't gonna never tell us.
So everybody, we look at certain things just because, oh, this happens in the hood or we see this every day. All the way up. These people were speaking truth. King, we could talk X, we could talk it all. They were speaking truth.
What's going on in anyone's mind, but let's take it as a given that Gray's argument is true, that the argument to not have ID is that it would be discriminatory versus certain socioeconomic brackets or something. It's like
the world's greatest trial run of what people will do and what people won't do. And we are the only country on the planet that really fought against the government. A lot of it,
because you focus on 80-20 issues. I'm looking at the Epstein issue as we have 80% of the information we need to prosecute these people that actually did anything, but you're focusing on the 20% trying to take down Donald Trump, which you're never going to get. So I'm going to keep sitting here with a smug-ass face on every single day.
I'll explain. Good question. I'll give you the answer. The Republican Party constantly talks about transgenders and transgender surgery to minors.
I'm mostly on the left, ideologically, but I don't associate with the Democrats because they're not ideologically on the left. The Democrats are clowns, and they're also losers.
About to be any engaging conversation. It's not about to be any discourse about different political ideologies, what works and what doesn't. If that is the outcome, right? For example, I'm not going to go and just put myself in the middle of a KKK rally.
Verify me, not a fucking Fed. They always do this. I'll say this, right? But they did the same thing to Nick. We've seen the video. They'll call people who are genuine and authentic Feds because
the interesting thing to me is that the ones that claim that they believe the Constitution are now trampling the Constitution. The ones that said they believed in the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, right, are now going against the freedom of
leadership perspective.
They don't have no plan. They don't ever talk about nothing positive about the Democrat Party. Everything is just anti-Trump. They're not willing to have a conversation. They call us fascists. We willing to have a conversation. Charlie Kirk's willing to have a conversation.
Your road to a billionaire went right through derivatives.
Yes, but derivatives were not the cause. The derivatives were not the cause at all. It's like saying your hair was the cause of your heart attack because it was on top of your head.
So what
when you
was
fell
the
down.
cause?
There isn't. Let me say, there's no one specific cause. These are system collapses. So many times when they have to make your death certificate, when you say, well, what did he die from? They'll say heart failure. But if you say, what was the cause of his heart failure? Well, he had low blood pressure, his sugar was high, he was diabetic, he had all these other problems. But you say, no, we need a word on your death certificate. Did he die from brain damage? Did he die from heart failure? That's the financial crisis. Many people said, well, what caused it? They wrote, like on its death certificate, derivatives. But derivatives were not a fundamental, derivatives are not a fundamental cause of anything.
Was it Sunday or Monday? I take it was Monday morning when you made your 2 collect calls and you were talking to Bear Stearns on one hand and Morgan Stanley on the other.
JP Morgan.
JP Morgan. That was Monday morning. Did you, Jeffrey, being one of the financial geniuses in the world, did you understand what Lehman Brothers going into bankruptcy, the domino effect, that by Thursday the financial system would be under such extremis that if it didn't have $1 trillion cash infusion in the United States, it might collapse? Did you know that at the time? Did you view that at the time?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
Why?
Again, I don't want to bore you or the audience with the idea of it's a medical procedure, but you had system failures. So you'd recognize that if I said to you, did you realize when your father was on the ground and he was clutching his chest and he couldn't breathe, it was a bad situation and he could die. That's how I saw it.
Did you immediately think about the commercial paper market? I mean, the mechanical triggers that actually you had to blow through these circuit boards. Did you know the circuits? Did you understand the circuits? Or did you have a concept of the circuits that were going to get blown through?
Yes, but only because of an analogy to a body. And in fact, from my telephones against the wall with my little metal wires, because the next day I talked to another person in Washington about the issues of what I thought was happening, and I made the same discussion about the...
They were at the Treasury Department?
Yes.
So in a 6x9 cell in...
The phones were outside the cell.
In Palm Beach County, California?
West Palm Beach, Florida.
West Palm Beach, Florida.
This was your juice diet.
West Palm Beach, Florida. West Palm Beach, Florida. West Palm Beach, Florida. You're making a call to Washington, D.C. to talk to some deputy secretary of Treasury.
Someone in Treasury.
Right. Someone in Treasury.
Right.
And that does not, the night before you go to bed, it doesn't dawn on you at all. You never have a moment of self-reflection that, how did I end up on this metal cot when I should be at the center of things?
No, I had a telephone. So I said, I can talk to, it makes no difference where I am, in fact. I'm still talking to the same person if I was at my home in Palm Beach. But I'm here in jail.
Your home in Palm Beach.
I can dial my own phone.
That's bullshit. No, but you can also make 1,000 phone calls. Here you got to make one, and he's got to take.
Think how much better that was. I had to decide who was the right person to call. That was unusual for me, because I would have called 20 people.
And
before.
What was the advice you gave him?
I said, you have a sick patient, and it's very much like a sick patient in the emergency room. You can't think about it like your car. People in normal walks of life think about money and things as a machine. And unfortunately, so if your car breaks, cars are always easy to fix. My jets, my cars, if it breaks, I know it can be fixed because it simply follows the same pattern. If this part breaks, you replace the part and the thing works again. People and the financial system are not machines. They can't be fixed the same way. You can't simply take out put some more juice into the commercial paper market, and that's like replacing the carburetor on the car. It's much more, I have a patient who can't breathe, has a stomach problem, can't see, looks bleeding at the same time. What do I do first? I have to think about it as a system. Where's the most logical place? What's the most dangerous place? If your heart stopped, we have to start your heart again.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Described him as one of the most dangerous men on the face of the earth.
Welcome to the Man Cave. Welcome to Lunchtime with a New Party. I'm Gray Mars.
I'm Heaven.
So you can see that was a clip from Steve Bannon's interview with Jeffrey Epstein. Heaven, I haven't heard your take on it. And we're going to be playing clips, throughout the whole show. So please stay. And we're just going to break down what we see from the interview. We haven't got your take on it. What did you think?
Well, if you've been with us for a while, you know that this has been one of my main things. Anytime I get a chance, I'm throwing it out. Hey, what about the Epstein files? What about the Epstein files? Now we've gotten, what, about half of them? And majority of them being redacted, except for this last drop, had all those extra tidbits in it. Steve Bannon needs to be fucking arrested. What are we doing? He is all over them. Like, what are we? That's my take. My take is, why is he still walking around? Because he, like, all throughout the entire files is Steve Bannon's name.
So last night we talked about Trump being in the Epstein files. Do you feel like Trump is guilty?
Yes. I don't know how anybody can look at any of them and like, even if it's just allegations, one allegation is one thing, 20, but these are, and understand that Epstein was evil, but Epstein also said that Trump was the most evil man that he knew. So if the devil is if the devil is saying that you are more evil than him, what does that make you? Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm just, they ate babies? Bruh.
We're accepting super chats if you want your chat on the screen, but this is a typical right person's response. They say, how many Epstein's files were released under Biden? So, like, when people say that, do you feel like Biden was guilty too? Like, why didn't Biden release the files? Yeah.
Absolutely. No, because it's our entire government. And if you look over the span of since the FBI had this information back in the 90s, every single FBI, DOJ, administration, president, Obama, lock them up. They all of them had a conspiracy and committed treason and committed heinous acts and willfully, knowingly covered it up by omission. Even all of them need to go. Every single one of them. Biden, I don't care if they're in the files or not, they covered it up. Every single administration all the way back.
So what you're talking about said, my takeaway has always been he just doesn't seem like a man that would kill himself. Maybe it's just me. Do you think he killed himself?
I don't think he's dead.
Okay.
A man with that much power that is manipulating governments, you think he's dead?
I don't know.
It's in the files, right? It's in the files that Reddit post that the FBI actually investigated, right? Allegedly. But it's in there saying, I saw this. He was wheeled out in a wheelchair. None of the triage nurses saw him. And then the van came. I'm just saying. So all he had to do was make phone calls. And what did he say? He needed to know, he really needed to think, who did he really need to call in that moment? So he thought in his cell about who he really needed to call to get his ass out of that situation.
I was going to say the same thing that Vaughn said, that Epstein with Tupac, but let's play another clip if people just not showing up so you guys can see what Epstein.
Now, we saw Tupac get shot, though. There's a difference. There's missing moments from the camera footage even, and the guards were asleep. That's not, like, yes, they covered up Tupac's, like, and that came out now that it was the LA police that did it, but we saw him die. There's a difference.
All right,
like Charlie Kirk, we saw him die. You know, like,
I
it's
get
traumatic.
it.
But
fundamental part of money, which is called fractionalized banking. And fractionalized banking is something that finance people understand, and the people on the street, and when I say people on the street, that's where I was when I started on Wall Street, would find it impossible to believe. Impossible. Why? Bannon Bank, I give you $1, just one single dollar. In our system of banking, I would say, okay, Steve, I gave you $1. How much could you lend out to your friends? And your natural reaction would be probably something less than $1 because I want to keep something in my pocket. The way our system works is if you as a bank are holding my dollar, you can lend out an additional $8 or $9. No, it's impossible. I only have $1, Jeffrey. We have something called fractionalized reserves, which is if you have 1, you can lend out 9. That's the way our system works. And so not only do world leaders not understand banking, but the man on the street, my father who worked in the park department, it would be beyond his imagination that people could lend out more money than they actually had in their pocket. If the public understood that the bank really doesn't have their money at any one time, it's one of the things during the Depression, there were runs on the bank. The reason the banks don't keep much money in the actual bank is they assume that not everyone's going to want their money on the same day. So it's not really the fear of inflation. The fear is a run on the bank. Everybody wants to take out something that doesn't really exist.
So this is interesting because no one knows how Jeffrey Epstein got rich because people are saying that he was actually a horrible investor. He supposedly got money from Victoria's Secret founder, and he supposedly got money from some other powerful people because he was a mathematician and knew all these great investments. So what do you think about what he was saying with the bank and like that you can get this, if you have $1, you can get 9 back? Because I need to sign up for it. If they're giving out money like that, I need to head to the bank right now.
I think I got to be careful what I say. I don't need to be taken out. Epstein was a Mossad agent, a well-known Mossad agent who was taken under the wing of Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, who was also a Mossad agent. And if you look into him, he was a double agent and worked for the KGB as well. Maxwell, oh God, our ex-boss. So if anybody thinks we're dumb, blame him. Like, the amount of manipulation that ties back into the CIA and Mossad, that's where the money comes from, us. It's our tax dollars that continuously get funneled into Israel for this thing or that thing or this thing or that thing. And that money then gets turned around and they use AIPAC and other lobbies to pay our politicians and then funnel it into weapons manufacturing. So yeah, that's where he got his money, from us.
So since we just talked about Maxwell, I want to play what she had to say about Jeffrey. Here's what she said.
In Florida. So as far as I'm aware, a professional masseuse showed up for a massage. There is nothing inappropriate or incorrect about that. And your mischaracterization of it, I think, is unfortunate.
How many teenagers did he have that were professional masseuses that worked in his home?
Check the Foreman Foundation.
How many?
First of all, I'm not aware of teenagers who worked in his home.
Did Jeffrey Epstein have a scheme to recruit underage girls to use them for purposes of sexual massages?
Check the Foreman Foundation.
Can you ask me again, please?
Sure. Did Jeffrey Epstein have a scheme to recruit underage girls to use them for sexual massages?
Check the Foreman Foundation.
Can you ask it a different way?
Did Jeffrey Epstein have a scheme to recruit underage girls for sexual massages?
Object to Foreman Foundation.
If you know.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
I think she'll get a pardon from Trump. I think she'll get out. I think, I heard Republicans try to say, like, nothing happened, but, like, I heard a guy say, then why is Ghislaine Maxwell, in prison if nothing happened? So, I mean, I will kind of want to see what comes out in the client list, but Ghislaine Maxwell, I think, is kind of
Hell
crazy.
no. We got so much information. It's bullshit, Gray. It's bullshit. Take them all, lock them all up. Like I said from the beginning, every single administration that has covered this up, and it goes globally, like, okay, Prince Andrew is just Andrew. Like, what? Fucking lock them up. Like, what are we doing? Lock them all up. If they're in there, lock them up. They all manipulated the American people. They all have done this. Like, I love our country. I literally am 100% disabled veteran at such a young age. And it actually hurts me to see how divided our country is. It doesn't, Republicans, hey, Democrats, leftists, shut the fuck up. Republicans are still human beings. Hey, Republicans, shut the fuck up. Leftists, grapers, whatever, far right, whatever, MAGA, shut the fuck up. Like, hello, we're divided and we're arguing about child rape and cannibalism.
You got a point.
Why aren't we grabbing our pitchforks and lighting our fucking torches and going to these motherfuckers' houses and burning this bitch down? Fuck our jobs. Every single one of them. Obama, Bush, from all of them. All of them. Trump too. He's doing it too. He's dividing us too. Like, Epstein made the whole fucking 4chan shit to manipulate the right. Like, that fucking pisses me off. That pisses me off. Why are we okay with these motherfuckers manipulating our minds to hate each other? Epstein made 4chan. Epstein made fucking Bitcoin. Are you serious? It is way past this left and right bullshit. Like I've been saying, left wing, right wing, same fucking bird. But now we see who's all over it. Cut off their fucking heads. Give me the guillotine. I'm sorry. I love America and I love Americans regardless of where the fuck their political stance is.
So,
And that's it. You were in the military. How do you feel? Patriot. Like, I'm shit. I mean, I know you weren't in, just a few years back, but.
Of course. I mean, you want to fight for something that you believe in. Absolutely.
America. Yeah, hell yeah.
But I feel like us doing this is what is helping. But the big thing
now it is. Yeah, now we're on this side. But
now,
how do you feel about the right being manipulated as a Democrat?
The right being manipulated? They want to be manipulated. I don't feel no way about them being manipulated. If you get told something and you say you want to believe something else, then that's on you. If you say it's not.
Even Marjorie Taylor Greene was on that QAnon shit. And Epstein made that, and she was pushing it like, yo, of course they're going to believe it. Like, that's how deep it is. That's crazy.
But Marjorie Taylor Greene turning against them now. Right now.
Oh, that's convenient, right? That's convenient that she helped push the QAnon stuff that Jeffrey Epstein started. And then she just backed away. That's convenient. Lock her up.
But I want you to see this. So is Epstein the devil?
Class 3 sexual predator.
Tier 1.
Was tier 1's the highest and worst?
No, I'm
the lowest.
I'm the lowest. Your child's life.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
It's a serious question.
I'm sorry.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
Because you have all the attributes. You're incredibly smart. You remember the devil is somebody knows
what?
The devil's brilliant. You read Milton's Paradise Lost.
No, the devil scares me.
Satan is at the number 1 or 2 archangel, and the reason he goes to hell and leads the rebellion is because he can't be the top guy. And his thing is, I'd rather reign in hell than serve in heaven.
I saw that in a movie.
Is Epstein the devil? I want to hear this from you. Is he the devil?
See, we got all the topics that I'm really passionate about, right, today. So we got the
Yeah.
Epstein topic and political topics, because I'm protective of kids, and I'm a patriot after being in the military for so long. And hey, guys, I do have a psychiatrist and a therapist, thanks to your tax dollars, because I fought for this country. So I appreciate you. Thanks for paying my bills. And now being an ordained minister and looking at all the religions and just studying them, because I don't subscribe to one specific religion, because who am I to say what is what? I need to read it and look into it and investigate it for myself. I don't think he's the devil, but I think he's evil. What do you think? You think he's the devil?
I don't know if I think he's the devil. Like, he said something pretty derogatory. He said something about black people. He said that are black people just built to do agriculture and labor work because is that why they're more physically strong? And is it like white people or what they went through with their domestication, did they have to think and go through these types of situations, and so they got different attributes? So I think that Jeffrey was definitely a weird person, and I think his thought process was very different than what's mainstream. I think anybody doing anything with children is absolutely disgusting, and all this information that's coming out. But it's kind of crazy because he has all these people, powerful people connected to him, and even in his death, he's affecting people's lives. He's literally affected the president of the United States' life, and he's dead. Supposedly, that's what they say.
The president is in the files, mentioned many, many times.
For sure.
And I feel like if people are still defending him, which is what I'm seeing, it's like you can't take in that new information and digest it. Same like Epstein. He couldn't take in accurate information because if he knew anything about history and culture, then he would know more about people from Africa. And all of our civilization, majority of the knowledge of the world comes from there. Just because it was all burned down, if they look into the Library of Alexandria, where do you think all of that information came from? Not white people, but he wasn't smart enough. He looked at things not objectively to say, okay, let me see both sides and see what is real. Let me look at all the angles. He picked what fit his narrative, his eugenicist narrative, what fed his white ego, his white male ego. And that's what he clung on to, because narcissistic individuals have an intense inner shame that they feel. So they have to do that. It's an emote, not to negate the fact that it's wrong, but it's their way of protecting themselves, shielding themselves from an ego fucking slap.
All right, I'm gonna play another clip.
Go back to human life. When do you think human life starts?
It's not these. So you see, this is the question. You're asking me to measure something again. It's the disease.
It can't be measured. You just hate making commitments.
That's why I'm not married.
I'm peeling this onion back a layer at a time. All your bullshit and happy target can't be measured like that. Is that to say measure it's a commitment. You don't even like a commitment when you answer a question.
I don't.
As
know.
they say in golf, commit to the shot.
I don't know what it means to be measured.
You do know what it means to be measured. You're one of the leading currency traders, hedge fund guys, or stock market financial wizards. You're in the high priesthood of high finance. You certainly know how to measure. That's why you're a billionaire. Any other answer besides that is total and complete bullshit. and you know it.
I know very few things.
You know things can be measured. You measure every day. You weigh and measure every day. You weigh and measure people. You weigh and measure leaders. You weigh and measure economies. You weigh and measure politics.
It's a very good.
You weigh and measure. You weigh.
Hang on.
Your whole life, in fact, is measuring.
So what you've now done is a great thing, is you've used the word measure, a mathematic term, in the common vernacular and abused it. So I don't even recognize what it means. It's so abusive to my field.
Steve Bannon, I feel like we're trying to force him to like say that life begins when the baby is conceived because Steve Bannon's on the right. He's trying to push a narrative out there. So like he wanted Epstein to say that. So because I guess Epstein is seen as, a financial wizard. So he wanted his backing on that. What do you think?
Bannon is not on the right. Bannon is manipulating the right. It shows in the Epstein. Like if you actually sit back and not like idolize any of these people, like Jay-Z. Like I've listened to Jay-Z since I was a kid. Are you kidding me? Like that was one of my favorite artists. Done. What do you mean? No questions asked. I don't idolize anything or anyone because no one is like they're human too. Well, they're evil, but I question the humanity of the people in these files. Like it's ridiculous. I think that Steve Bannon was trying to get Epstein to say that. Yeah, of course, because if you look and read through the Epstein files, like they were working on and working through manipulation of the right.
Right.
And getting young men to go like against the feminist stuff and this whole male loneliness epidemic, and it's the legacy media. It's everything. Burn it all, like every single thing they had their hands in, including Bannon. So why are we trusting what he's asking? We have one demon interviewing another demon about this. Like I'm whew, I'm just like, what the
and so, Seven, it seems like you're trying to say that neither parties matter. But look, Steve Bannon, they're saying that the left lives rent-free in his head. So look at this clip.
Interacting with each other and making one big system.
You expect, this is what's stunning for all the little guys out there, the populist movement, the little guys that haven't had a pay raise in 30 years.
Did you read what it said? It was basically saying
what I see is media taking and clipping different pieces and different parts and feeding it to each side. I see the media feeding the information that damns the left and the clips that make it seem like, oh, they were against each other, going to the right, so that the right is galvanized and looking at the left, the evil Democrats and the lunatic leftist. And wait a minute, that's not who shot Charlie Kirk. I thought he was a Republican. Do you know what I mean? And just like Charlie shouldn't have got shot, Renee shouldn't have got shot. Can we just start with like the baseline of we're all human? And like nobody deserves to die for their beliefs or what they speak about, because that's our First Amendment. That's American. You want to be American first? Let's start at that baseline. Both left and the right. Disgusting behavior. Disgusting. Everything they said about Charlie Kirk, disgusting. Everything they said about Renee, disgusting. But you got to see that both sides are being manipulated against each other on purpose. With the Epstein files, with all of it.
Okay, we'll play another clip there. Here we go.
And to summarize,
let's go back to human life. When do you think human life starts?
I guess that was the exact same one. I thought that was going to be a different one. Let me play this one. Sorry.
So
they ate baby. I don't care when he life starts. He thinks
I
they're
didn't have my
animals.
Wall Street Journal, but
Like crazies.
in the
What?
early mornings, you're allowed to make 2 phone calls, collect. And when you pick up the phone, you can dial a number, and when the person picks up, they say, you're getting a call from the Palm Beach County Jail. Will you accept reverse charges? And the person either says yes, and the call goes through, or the person says no. The question you want to ask is, who was the other call to?
Okay. Who was the other call to?
The other call was to my friend at J.P. Morgan, who was then, I didn't know it at the time, trying to buy Bear Stearns. So at one point, I had 2 phones. It was difficult because they're afraid people are going to hang themselves with the phone cord. So they don't actually come together and they're pretty short. So I was actually going between 2 phones talking to Bear Stearns and J.P. Morgan at the same time. So I found it amusing.
Wow, to hear him say something about hanging yourself is like crazy because you know how he lost his life. But yeah, so it sounds like he was in
Did you
prison.
see though? He said they're too short though. They're too short. You can't do it with them cords, right? But what he found amusing was that he was manipulating. He was working a deal through 2, instead of like he used to do with emails and stuff. He's working a deal in jail on 2 collect calls, working out a company. Like that's he's laughing at us. That's what he's doing. That's crazy. That's how I see
It's
that shit.
wild.
Because wow.
And people were saying in the comments, like, why are we talking about the banking stuff? We're talking about the banking stuff because, you know, he was in the banking system and that was his expertise, what he talked about in the interview.
So let's back up. So why did I buy a ranch in New Mexico in 1993? So that gives you some sense. So I would have funded it in 1990. Los Alamos, which was the high energy lab up in New Mexico, was losing all its scientists.
And Los Alamos, it was where Oppenheimer and where a lot of the nuclear weapons program, the bomb.
That's where the Manhattan Project.
Manhattan Project was
yes,
as Los Alamos, and you bought your property out in New Mexico to be near that?
Yes, because the scientists were going to be, they cut the funding for high energy physics. But the people who worked in Los Alamos would still be in the Santa Fe area.
They cut that because this was the Cold War dividend, right?
I don't remember exactly why.
Everybody in the chat saying that he's still alive, and then for him to go buy the land where they did the atomic bomb. Oppenheimer, I saw that movie. It was kind of boring, but you know, I looked at the story of the guy that created the atomic bomb, so it's kind of crazy that Jeffrey Epstein will go buy land over there.
It's crazy that they say he's alive in the chat, and I saw somebody say that he's watching us live. Yeah, but that trips me out because there was actually a YouTube account that had Jeffrey's face and it said alive and well in Israel. That was in the chat months ago. I had taken a picture of it with my phone. I think Nora will remember.
Yeah.
So yeah, he actually might be sitting here laughing and watching us. And now that these files come out, there's some other connections that I'm trying to find some verification on that I might have been lucky enough to not be picked for something. So I'll let you know. I have to have documented proof before I say anything. But it was so long ago. Modeling for John Casablanca.
Okay, I'm gonna play another clip.
So, yeah.
All right.
People around
I'm just saying.
who could wrote. Socrates could think. So that was...
Jesus of Nazareth was the same way, right? Never wrote anything.
I thought he was a carpenter.
He was a carpenter.
Didn't he need like a little carpenter's tonight? I don't want to get that.
But at least his written record.
Right.
One last thing.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
Wow, it seemed like he attacked Jesus right there. I mean, Socrates and Plato and Aristotle, all those people are great writers. But, I mean, I don't think Epstein was religious at all. So, I mean, him bringing Jesus in that situation, I don't know if Epstein was wrong, but I don't think you can compare those people.
You don't have to physically write something to say something prophetic or and I don't think majority of people that do say prophetic things, even nowadays, majority of them aren't like, I'm going to write this down. That's not like our first thing, unless that's, especially back then. He's a carpenter. Yeah, he was able to write. Yes, if you know, and he was probably extremely good at math. If you know anything about carpentry, those are things that you need. Those are tools that you really need. As well as engineering. Back in those days, if he's a carpenter building things, he's going to need to have that engineering, like, understanding to build things. So don't talk down on Jesus. The fuck? If you're still alive and you're watching this, stop talking about Jesus. You don't know nothing. Shh.
Do I
Epstein,
say
shut up.
do I say prophetic things over here?
Sometimes you do.
Appreciate it.
Like on the phone, yeah.
So, Paige, right?
I like you talking more. This is
Debriefing
great.
him, I said to him, Jeffrey, if you have anything on anybody important, you have to tell me that, because I may be able to be using that to get you a better deal. And then I gave him a list of names of people. And in the list of names was Donald Trump. And he said to me personally, to my face, Alan, there's nothing I can give you about Trump that will help me get a better deal. So I have actually personal experience with that. It's not speculation in my case. Now, again, was Epstein telling the truth?
That was his lawyer saying that he was innocent. I know the MAGA people love to see that.
I
Basically,
don't think that says he's innocent. I just think that says that there's nothing that is like, he didn't have anything that he could use that would Donald Trump would help him out, because it'll bring them both down. So it's not going to help him. Do you know, like,
yeah.
that's how I heard it.
That's Alan Dershowitz. They also accused him of being in the Epstein files as well. But he was
Well,
Jeffrey
I don't want to be accused. Google it. Look up the file. Control F. If you are on your computer, not on your phone, if you're on your computer, you hit Control and then you hit F. A little pop-up box pop up right in the side corner. You type in any word and it's gonna go right there. Okay. And the reason, I'll tell you all, the reason that nobody has been arrested is that sweetheart deal. Because in that sweetheart deal, co-conspirators were covered. That's why the FBI is not doing anything.
Well,
because technically by law they can't.
There is hope. One of the guys who were in the Epstein files, ex-wife, is begging for him to come out and give information.
I think we're having a reckoning as a society, right? No girl should ever be put in the situation that they were put in by Epstein and whatever was going on with all of the various people around him. No girl. I mean, it's beyond heartbreaking, right? I remember being those ages, those girls were. I remember my daughters being those ages, right? So for me, it's personally hard whenever those details come up, right? Because brings back memories of some very, very painful times in my marriage, but I have moved on from that. I purposely pushed it away and I moved on. I'm in a really unexpected, beautiful place in my life. So whatever questions remain there of what I can't even begin to know all of it, those questions are for those people and for even my ex-husband. They need to answer to those things, not me.
Well,
and I am so happy to be away from all the muck.
I wonder what your dominant emotion is when you read these news articles.
Just unbelievable sadness. Unbelievable sadness, right? And again, I'm able to take my own sadness and look at those young girls and say, my God, how did that happen to those girls, right? And so for me, it's just sadness for You know, I left my marriage. I had to leave my marriage. I wanted to leave my marriage. I had to leave I felt I needed to eventually leave the foundation. So it's just sad. And it's kind of like, at least for me, I've been able to move on in life. And I hope there's some justice for those now women, right? We see them standing up in front of microphones in DC. What they went through is just unimaginable, I think.
Well, I'm divorced. I know if there was anything on my record, my ex-wife would definitely be out there trying to fillet me, get me burned alive. I mean, we kind of cool now, but I mean, is she a woman scorned, or is this, she feels really like this? Because a lot of the times when the baby daddy or the man is down, the woman come out and try to destroy his reputation.
Control F. Find them all and give me the guillotine. Like, I don't want to hear none of them defending this or defending that or saying he needs to tell. No, they don't need to tell on themselves. Give us all the fucking files. Stop covering up people's names that are guilty. There are more of us than there are of them. And every single one of them that was, again, like I said, since they had this information in the 90s, every single administration, every single DOJ, all of them are guilty. I want every single one of them lined up. And we, the American people, can say, look at all of this. And like, no, this is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. It's un-American. It's inhumane. Like, hello, get it together. It's above politics. It's above politics.
This next topic is Heaven's topic. She's been dying to talk about it. So Heaven, I'm gonna let you take the full lead on this. This is gonna
I
be
don't know about I'm dying to talk about it. I just kept saying, I just kept sending it to you like, hey, check this out because people are talking about it. People are talking about it. And y'all need to, hey, we got to talk about this.
Oh no about it. Heaven's gonna let us know. This is kind of a long clip. Here we go.
Listen to hours of interviews of the most heartbreaking stories I've ever heard from one of Trump and Epstein's victims, Sasha Riley. He names a few people, so I will make separate videos for each person. This first one is for Trump, and if you're wondering what someone could do to have Epstein call them a monster, this will answer it for you.
But it's a whole bunch of people. It's just that from my childhood perspective, what I saw or what I thought that I saw was he was the big boss. Donald Trump was the big boss, and then Epstein was like you said, like the manager or something. And then you had lower level people like my dad that kind of went out and found girls or coordinated, at the ground level of things.
Yeah. So in terms of
even Epstein himself, he just sought out people like my dad that would sell, their adopted child, their actual child, or whatever. So those are the different layers of people.
I'm going to give a really big trigger warning for these next clips for child and animal.
The last encounter with Trump, the one where I injured him, was the one that I remember the most vividly. My dad, before we went to the farm, this was when we lived in Enterprise, Alabama.
Yeah.
So it would have been about 81 to 82, somewhere in there, maybe as late as 83. But he said there may be somebody that you know there. And I can remember the look on his face, and it scared the shit out of me. But anyway, when I got to the farm, of course, I'm scared at the farm because I don't know what's going to happen. But the first person that comes up to me is a girl named Patricia. This is a girl that I had been trafficked with before. And she came running up to me and, said hello or whatever. She was about my same age, around 12 or 13. And I can remember my dad saying, well, why don't you guys go run off or whatever and have fun? And I can remember not knowing what to do in that instance because, these parties weren't for me. I wasn't. And then he said something to the effect of, no, it's not like that for you anymore. You're a man now. You can just go out and have fun. Well, we went to go have sex. So we went and found a room and started having sex. And while we were having sex, people burst into the room. It would have been 4, 5, 6 guys, big guys, adults. At least one of them had a gun. I think 2 or 3 of them had guns. But they came in, they assaulted her, they beat on her, and then they shot her while she was still in the bed. They didn't beat or assault me, but what they said was, if you don't do everything that the next person coming in here wants, we're going to shoot you just like we did her. And I can remember them having like an argument because they shot her in the bed and then they had to go find another mattress. Well, that's when Trump came in. So that's why I remember him so vividly. And it was at that point I had already decided they're probably just going to kill me anyway. I'm going to take him with me. And I tried, but I did not.
When Trump assaulted you, so sexual assault and physical assault?
Yes. So
And
at one point, well, I kind of acquiesced to whatever sexual things that he wanted to do. But at some point, he wanted me to have sex with him. So he lay down on his stomach, and there was a wooden tent stake that was in the room, and I had been eyeballing it as a weapon. And what I did was put the condom on the wooden tent stake, put it inside of him, and I kicked it as hard as I could. And that's why he had to get life flighted out, because I ripped him open. I have had more than one encounter with Trump, and that's why I tried to kill that son of a bitch, because he is a fucking monster. It's why I have not shut up about just how absolutely abhorrent he is as a human being, and it's why I tried to kill him.
yeah.
Because I had decided, I had already seen enough other people die that in my mind I thought, well, they're just going to kill me too at some point, right? I'm not going to survive to be an adult from this. So in my mind, he was the biggest pile of shit that I'd ever had to have any contact with, so I was going to take him with me. And
How often did Trump assault you? You remember?
I can remember two specifically. A third one that I think, and I think I was around him more than just those 3 times, but only 3 times do I kind of remember. I can remember at one point him asking the people that were kind of running that party or whatever it was at that farm, he wanted to kill somebody. He wanted to murder somebody. And they said, hey, that's not this kind of party. You can't do that. And they in lieu of doing that, they said, well, we've got some puppies. If you just want to kill something, we've got to get rid of them anyway. So I can remember him taking those puppies one by one, and like he snapped one of the puppies' necks. He cut one open and let it just howl and writhe in pain while it died. Held one under some water to kill it. He wanted to kill those puppies in whatever gruesome way, to experience, I guess, seeing them suffer in different ways. What his kink is, I guess, if you want to call it that, is watching people suffer. He likes to destroy people physically, mentally, during the process of the assault. That's why he stands out so much in my memory. And it's physical pain, and then it's also, degrading and all of that. But his thing was to just try to destroy human beings to the utmost that he could possibly do it. I was exhausted. I couldn't fight back, and he sat on my chest and would choke me until I was unconscious. And each time that he did it, he'd say, "I'm going to kill you." And then he would choke me until I was out. And he did that half a dozen times or however many times. And I can remember him saying, "I thought I killed you that time. I'm really going to do it this time," and then choke me again. So he would just do that over and over again until he got bored of it. In the moment, you think you're going to die.
Yeah.
And that's the experience that he wants to see, the fear in another human being's eyes that thinks that he's killing him,
Yeah.
But looking back, I just think he was just torturing me. I think had he wanted to kill me, he could have. He could have just kept choking me until I was gone. Because I did get choked until I was unconscious. I don't know, as many as half a dozen times, maybe more. That's the type of thing that he would do, or worse. I believe, I wouldn't swear to this, but I believe that on that instance, my dad had told him, hey, you can't bust him up, you can't break stuff, because all his CPS bullshit.
Lastly, as a disclaimer, this is all alleged right now, so I'll let you use your discernment.
All right, Heaven, what did I just listen to? What did we just watch? Everybody in the chat saying that it's fake. TDS, this is BS.
I hear that. Look, I don't have TDS because that's not an actual syndrome. Trust me, I have a psychiatrist and I asked. What you just listened to was a highly decorated veteran. That was a veteran, y'all. So all the people who are saying it's lying, it's fake, whatever, it's a veteran. who served our country. And I suggest before you just dismiss it, go listen to all of the audio files, because it's not, that's just the little pieces about Trump. It's way worse. And the reason that they didn't kill him was because it's harder to find boys. It's harder to get little boys. And he discusses that. So I don't, like she said in there, it's all alleged. But from what we have seen in the Epstein files and the pure just I can't, there's not even a word to describe how disgusting, inhumane, and just diabolical the things that were done to children and babies. So I suggest you just go listen to it and take, and just like here at the New Party, we have everybody's views from all different sides, left, right, center. Everybody has their stances, everybody has their views, and we always encourage everyone to look at all of it and make your own choice and decision, whether you believe or not. But make sure you just are open to listening to it. Look up the Sasha Riley interview. Listen to this decorated veteran who served our country for the party of we support our veterans,
For sure.
and see what he has to say. And then if you're bold, go check in the Epstein files and see if and you can verify. Because what I did before I even took any interest into what that interview said was I went onto the Wayback Machine. You know what that website is?
No.
The Wayback Machine. The Wayback Machine takes like snapshots of websites and archives them continuously. And I looked up Sasha Riley. And there was CP that popped up. 2 CP websites popped up with that individual's name. To me, that made me really like, okay, wait a minute, maybe I should go listen to this interview. And the validity of it. As well as the fact that Donald Trump has worn diapers for years. His like main doctor, his primary care physician, was a gastroenterologist. And for those who don't know what a gastroenterologist is, they deal with the intestines. And that Donald Trump, like, let's see that part of his medical record. Like, why does he wear a diaper? Why was his doctor's office, his gastroenterologist's office, raided before he became president? Like, there's a lot of things that it's like, okay, this might be true. But again, stay open-minded. And before you throw out TDS, not you, people in the chat, Baptists don't throw TDS. Okay, you got Trump dick sucking syndrome. The fuck? Like, you have TDS.
And I didn't believe it. I'm sorry, I didn't believe him.
Did you listen to the whole thing? Did you listen to the whole thing? Did you listen to the whole interview?
And should I play the other clip? Is there more stuff, or was that basically that?
There's hours and hours and hours. This is an actual long ass interview that I suggest you listen to. It's not just talking about Trump. And that's why I'm saying, like, there's not enough time for us to play the whole hour and some change video here. That's why I say, okay, we'll play the little clip. But that's why I suggest people go look into these things, because clearly the media has been lying to us. The FBI has been lying. The DOJ has held these things from us. It doesn't matter if it's Trump or Steve Bannon or Bill Clinton or Jay-Z or Oprah or Bill Gates. It doesn't matter. And stop idolizing these people and actually just look at the facts, because until we do that, we're not going to be able to come together and keep our children safe. It's our children. It's our money that's going to these things. Like, it's just mind blowing. And everybody loves to hate each other. Like, yo.
Let's play one more clip of this, and then we'll go to the next time. We're going to play this clip.
Victim responded an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform oral sex on President Trump approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. The friend told Alexis that she was approximately 13 to 14 years old when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing oral sex. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after she laughed about biting President Trump. The friend said she was also abused by Epstein. Victim reported she has a friend who was a personal assistant to Epstein in Florida from 1986 until 1991 or 92. This friend shared names of some of the guests at Epstein's parties to include Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. At age 16, while modeling, Caller attended 8 parties at Epstein's New York residence. On one occasion, Caller reported she was assaulted by Epstein. On another, 2 twin brothers, Alan and Orrin, lured Caller and her friend upstairs, but they escaped back downstairs. Caller stated Orrin raped her best friend, and a third brother, Tal, raped a 14-year-old girl named Redacted. Caller named other individuals in big orgy parties with her, other young girls, and older Victoria's Secret models, including Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. Online complainant reported she was a victim and witness to a sex trafficking ring at the Trump golf course in Rancho Palos Verdes, California between 1995 to 96. Complainant reported Ghislaine Maxwell as the madam and broker for the parties, clients of whom included Epstein, Robin Leach, and Donald Trump. Complainant reported participating in orgies and that some girls went missing, rumored to have been murdered and buried at the facility. Complainant reported being threatened by Trump's then head of security that if she ever talked of what went on there, she would end up as fertilizer for the back 9 holes like the other blank. Complainant claims to have video of high-profile sex parties dealing with cartels and having witnessed Robin Leach strangle a young girl to death at a party. Claims he was contacted by a female victim of Epstein's who wants to publish a book. Complainant provided background for himself, such as working with prominent figures such as Leslie Wexner and Epstein, being pardoned by a U.S. president, among several other pieces of information. The victim reportedly knew about criminal activity that occurred in multiple states and on airplanes, and told complainant there were films of prominent men such as Epstein, Bill Clinton, and Donald Trump, and that Ghislaine Maxwell is in the videos as well. There are countless other stories.
I mean, that's pretty wild. I mean, the killing and stuff. Skeptic was saying that last night that they feel like people was killed. I think I don't know the guy's position. He said that was redacted. But I mean, hearing that is
He was just reading the file. That's all he was. He was just reading the file. Yeah, that was a file. So when you first pop up the video, he that the like numbers on the video, that is him, like the citing of what file it was that he was reading. He was legitimately just reading a file from the Epstein file. That's all. That's the redacted was the part of the file that was redacted. That was him just reading the straight file. So, I mean, lock him up. Again, all the way back to every presidency that has had this file. Obama had this. Every Democrat has had this file and information. Lock them up. Every DOJ has had this information. Every FBI has had this information. All under Democrat leadership. Lock them up. So all those people saying TDS, I don't care. I don't care if it's Trump. I don't care if it's, like I said, I don't care if it's Jay-Z. I don't care if it's the Pope. I don't care. I care about our kids and I care about the people of this country. That's what I care about. And if you're like idolizing people and you believe that they're above reproach because their status, when I was in the military, I had to serve under both leaderships. It didn't matter. I had to do what they said. So right now, looking at it, it doesn't matter. Lock them all up. They all covered it up. They're all in there. And that's why that one's so important, because it mentions Bill Clinton too.
So here's Jeffrey Epstein in a civil disposition.
Could you please give us your name? Jeffrey Epstein. Is it true, sir, that you have what's been described as an egg-shaped penis? Sir, according to the police department's probable cause affidavit, one witness described your penis as oval-shaped and claimed when erect it was thick towards the bottom but was thin and small towards the head portion, and called it egg-shaped. Those are not my words, I apologize. But as Mr. Critton has stated, that this is a... I'm willing to continue.
Was that a diss? Was that a diss? Somebody said we heard that BS already. We had to end
Time out. Please tell me you heard that rumor going around when like the whole Diddy trial was happening that they used to have to put an egg in a booty hole and not break it.
No, I didn't know that. Explain that again. Who had to do that?
Like rappers, and like when they were like going up, they had to like, yo, please look that. It was just a rumor. It was just something like that was going around.
Right.
But when that, first of all, I did not need to know the shape of this motherfucker suit. But also, I need to go back and look into that because that's wild.
For sure. So if you're watching right now, hit that subscribe button and press that notification bell to know when we go live. So, guys, thank you for watching. We're going to switch gears. Me and Heaven, on the last lunchtime at the new party, we talked about Anton. So if you can stick around, and if you were here before, we're going to update you on it. This is kind of a long clip, but we're going to switch over and talk about Anton because he had an issue with Corey Holcomb, but this is what they had to say about him.
As creators on the YouTube platform, Black YouTube in particular, typically have a few things in common. Number one, they don't really focus on thumbnails, good titles, or post-edited videos. No, they're above that. They're
what you can buy. It changes what you can access, new rooms
on the platform. But, you know, Tawana used to be on the Lapeef Network podcast, and that is Tawana's fiance, who literally was crashing out on Anton.
So Anton decided to act like a scorned ex-boyfriend or something. You know, I don't know. It was hella weird. I was like, this is making me uncomfortable.
That's right. You know, why y'all over there supporting her? Because ain't none of y'all clapping. That's right. Mr. Married Man, Mr. I Love the Lord was telling his audience that. So not only was Six the Goddess offended, but so was Danica Marie, who I've had a show with Danica Marie. I've never worked with Six the Goddess before. But what happens is that she was accusing Anton of acting like a scorned ex-boyfriend, you know what I'm saying, making her feel uncomfortable by basically insinuating these sorts of sexual things. Now, don't get me wrong. A woman like Six the Goddess is attractive, or a woman like Danica Marie is married, but, you know, she's an attractive looking woman. And anything that they can, ooh, that's what happens.
All right, I found that kind of boring. We're kind of giving an update on it. Heaven, are you there? So we talked about Anton. Anton got in a fight with Corey Holcomb. They're saying that he's cheating on his wife, and they saying that, you know, he tried a girl that we know named Mika, and she wasn't messing with him at all. Like, so Heaven, what do you think, you know, about this whole Anton situation?
Well, I think that the whole thing is bullshit and both of them ain't shit. Neither one of them actually fought. One sat back down. The other one sat back down too. After saying, let's get up and verse okay. I think it was all, I mean, they both making money though. Now, you know what I mean? But I don't like them throwing dirt on someone else's name that doesn't have anything to do with it. Or implying or saying something about somebody that, especially like a female, a woman that, you know, has integrity and isn't that type of individual. I don't like that. But I mean, men get emotional, so
I completely get that. I'm trying to see if they gave me the clip, and I'm trying to see if I have it. I might not have it. Well, I'm gonna pull it up on Instagram so we can react to it. So, Heaven, how you feeling? How do you like lunch with a new party?
I
Can you
love
hear
it.
me?
I love the new party. Can you hear me? I love
Yeah,
the new
yeah,
party. I love hanging out for lunch. Yeah, I appreciate all of you guys coming and hanging out with us, and I hope we give you some entertainment, some news. Um, we always just double check facts. Look, don't take anybody's word for anything. Anybody can't say anything. Double check. Don't just take people's word for it. And I'm saying that even for me. I stand on what I say. I look into things before I speak on it. If it's a rumor, it's a rumor. I'm not going to validate anything, but just always check for yourself.
for sure. So we go react to this clip because we got an exclusive clip. We think we caught Anton's real side chick.
The fouls on Tobias, his second. Pistons' biggest lead. Tobias, his second.
Did you catch that, Heaven? Did you catch that? When he was hugged up with a girl at the game?
I poked myself in the eye with one of these things on accident earlier. You see this little bent one right here? Yeah, that one poked me in the eye. So,
Wow.
my bad. I didn't catch it, but that's probably because of that. My bad. But hey, he was accused of having side chicks.
Right.
That look like, I mean, you know, it's not his wife at the game, is it? That's not,
For sure, for sure. So, Heaven, what we've been asked to do is we're going to talk about more things with veterans. So, we're both veterans. You talk about your military service a lot. So, I'm gonna play this clip. It's gonna be our last clip of the day, and this is about what a veteran went through at the VA, and he talks about mental health. So, I'm gonna share this, and then me and Heaven will talk about it. And we're both military veterans ourselves.
Veterans who served their country, especially those in combat, the return to civilian life can be difficult. The number of vets struggling with depression, anxiety, and PTSD has risen dramatically in the last few decades, and getting help is often a struggle of its own. One veteran took his frustrations with the mental health care he was getting from the VA to social media. In a TikTok post, raw with emotion, his message clearly struck a chord and has since gone viral. Joining us now live with more is News Nation correspondent Brooke Schaefer. Hey, Brooke.
Hey, Elizabeth. Joseph Contisano is an Army veteran. He served in Afghanistan, and since being home, he sought treatment for his mental health, a process he described as a maze filled with red tape. In a video now seen by hundreds of thousands, we see retired Army Sergeant Joseph Contisano break down.
The VA has continued to let me down.
Frustrated over the mental health care he says he's received from the VA.
I just want some continuity of care, dude. I'm so tired of it. Been off all my medications. 2 years I've been doing it on my own, man. I'm just white knuckled. I'm gripping. Jesus. I'm so tired of it.
The Army vet who lives in Florida didn't want to share his diagnosis, but said the VA let him down, constantly switching his doctors, a process he says can take weeks or months.
Years ago, maybe when I didn't have the support system I do, or if the situation had been changed, or my internal strength or the internal strength of another individual sitting in that seat, that might have been the last video they ever recorded.
A recent study found 24 U.S. veterans die by suicide every day, most diagnosed with depression, anxiety, or post-traumatic stress disorder. Jason Kander with the Veterans Community Project wrote The Invisible Storm, a book about his painful moments with PTSD.
I, like a lot of veterans, waited way too long to get care and to reach out. I spent about 10 years, a little over 10 years, kind of telling myself that what I was dealing with couldn't be PTSD because I didn't feel like I had earned it. That's what most veterans think, because when you're in the military, one of the things that you're taught is, somebody has it worse.
From 2001 to 2015, as many as 500,000 troops have been diagnosed with PTSD.
These doctors keep quitting, they keep switching.
When we asked about the claims in this video, the VA said they couldn't discuss it due to patient privacy.
We memorialize all of those who have fallen in service to our country, in combat. But imagine if we built a wall for all of the individuals who committed suicide as a direct result of the shortcomings of the mental health care in this country, who served their country honorably. Imagine how big that wall would be. It'd be gigantic. And to think that it's preventable is a complete, it's an understatement. It's absolutely preventable.
And that Army vet told us he has since heard from the VA.
I would say that I've gone to the VA and I've had issues with appointments, wait times. It's kind of like, a subsidized service. I do go to the main VA here in Florida, where if you have like a major appointment, you have to go to the regional office. That's the VA I go to. So it's probably better than some VA facilities, but the VA is notorious for not helping veterans and is notorious for issues happening. There was one veteran that I think he was waiting in the waiting room for 4 to 5 hours or some crazy amount of time. That he went outside and, it blew his brains out. So, Heaven, you're a veteran. Do you feel like the VA is serving the right needs? Does it need more funding? Like, how do you feel about the VA?
I know I talk about my service because, I joined when I was 21 and I retired in 2021. That was like damn near yesterday, So that was majority of my life was the service. I noticed that we went from 22 a day to 24 a day. That's an increase of 2 more suicides per day. It hits home a lot because being deployed, we had a service member, a friend of mine, commit suicide downrange. And I was a couple doors down and it was terrible. But coming home, my PTSD is terrible and I'm 100% disabled. We don't get the care we need. And this one big, beautiful bill just cut a bunch of funding. I know my psychiatrist's office alone has lost 4 therapists, of psychiatrists, not just the therapists. So the psychiatrists prescribe meds, therapists do the different talk therapies and whatnot. It hurts. They don't serve us enough. I know it's been a fight for me to get a lot of the care that I needed. Hell, I got a lawsuit because you can't just sue them anymore. Remember that, like back in the day when there was like a bunch of people who, like people that died like right outside of VA centers. It was all over the news, and there were lawsuits. Now you can't sue them like that. You have to do this type of claim, but so it's not as publicized as it is. So then you have veterans like this that only have the outlet of going to social media.
For sure. And I was a girl me and Doc know, and she had kids, and she ended up, taking her life. And there's plenty of veterans that, suffer, and it is a higher percentage rate for veterans to commit suicide than other groups. But which is crazy, a lot of people probably don't notice, the highest profession to commit suicide is actually dentists. doctors, dentists, they commit suicide at a higher rate than anybody. But us as veterans, we get deployed, we get separated from our families, we get all this regiment pushed into our brains. And then, after you leave, you're going to need some type of help for that. And the only thing I really can compare it to is prison. There's nothing else I feel like I can really compare it to.
I think it's a little worse than prison because they don't prepare us to get out. What do they tell you the whole time you're in is like basically like you get out, you're not going to survive as a civilian.
Yeah, they tell you that.
What are you going to do, Yeah.
And they
So
tell you don't
people stay in so long because it's yeah. And it's I think it's a great topic for us to cover. I really think it would be beneficial for us to for our veterans that do watch and anyone who supports veterans to watch on the things that vets are suffering.
Yeah, you were buffering a little bit, but yeah, put in the comments. What you guys like. Did you guys like us talking about the veteran stuff? Did you guys like us talking about Epstein? Did you guys like us talking about Anton Danes? Because we'll be doing this Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. I'm gonna try to be on time. Heaven, are you there? Are you still buffering? Can you hear me? Say something.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
For sure.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So it was a good show.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk about America. Anytime said talk about America. We'll talk about that. Anything you guys want to talk about?
Am I still buffering?
You're buffering a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So, go ahead.
Please, tell guys about lunch. It's your lunch hour. Let us know. Feel free to leave comments and super chats. Anything you want to talk about for lunch, let us know. It's your lunch hour, and we're here for you. Really.
Did you have any final thoughts? I guess that was her final thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back at 12 p.m.
Burn it all down. My final thoughts is this.
Go ahead. You're good now. Go ahead. Unmute yourself.
I don't know if I'm buffering or not.
You're good now. Now you're good.
I'm like, am I there? Am I not? My final thoughts is let's all come together, America. Because what the fuck are we doing? They're all in there, all the way back. And everybody covered it up. Democrats covered it up. Democrats are in it. Republicans are in it. Let's come together. This is America. This is our country. It's the people's country.
Be back tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be about the Super Bowl halftime show, Bad Bunny against the TPUSA halftime show with Kid Rock. I think I'm going to know who's going to win that competition of people who's watching, but it's going to be interesting to talk about for sure. So see you guys again tonight. Have a good day.
Before we wrap, I want to take a quick moment to talk about how you can support the new party. We are an independent media platform. No corporate backers, no political handlers, just a collection of voices representing all American viewpoints, especially the stories they don't want you talking about.
I'm disgusted with our government, and it doesn't matter which party you're talking about. I'm disgusted.
We are watching an active genocide. I don't know how else to put it. There are thousands of people getting killed every day.
This is the first time in history that an American cardinal has ever been elevated to pope. It is legitimately make America great again.
Yeah.
Like, they're fighting for illegal immigrants, not immigrants. Illegal. Like, and they burning the flag and shit.
Like I always say, it was a great episode. I'm happy with the wins that Donald Trump's.
Like you heard Nora Skeptic say, we're going to keep bringing like different types of content and things that we know people want to see. And like we always say on the New Party, always vote.
If you believe Americans can still have civil discourse, even in these polarizing times, we need your help to stay independent and keep growing. You can support us by donating to our GoFundMe page, becoming a channel member, sending a super chat, or grabbing merch from the New Party store. Every donation goes directly toward growing the channel promotion and our upcoming documentary. And as a thank you, donors will receive an exclusive copy of the documentary 1 week before it premieres. Who is the New Party? We're you, your voice, your stories, your America. We can only do this together. So if you're able, please donate and help us get the message out.